The hills of Tuscany are green to the south, but here in Imola the air is red hot. Welcome to Ferrari's turf for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The track has been around since the 60s, but the first official Formula One race was held here in 1980. Let's see what excitement lies ahead this year. This is Imola, and it's an old school track with plenty of elevation changes and lots of corners. There's only one DRS zone here, but it follows the long straight right before Tamburello and should see plenty of action. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. The competition is on.
Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 22 and another part of our 2023 mod playthrough, rebuilding Mercedes. Of course, last time out we had a terrific result in that we won the race in Australia. We got a 1-2. We're looking for something similar again here, hopefully, at Emilia-Romagna in Imola. We have our brand new update, which is, of course, the underfloor, which is one of the best upgrades that you can do on the car. So fingers crossed we can improve. Once again, we're going to skip to qualifying just to try and make it that little bit more challenging, that we just have to deal with whatever nonsense race confidence or car confidence we get. But look at that, Lewis Hamilton actually quickest in free practice 3. George Russell there in 3rd as well. Very, very good indeed. Lots of people are saying there are big issues with this mod because a lot of the data has been changed. It's actually, you know, affecting the hard coding of the game. But we'll see how it goes. You know, I'm still enjoying it, and hopefully it will be alright. Of course, if we win this one again, then maybe we have to question how good it is, but we will see. We will see anyway. But you know, it's been done pretty decently so far. But yeah, let's get ourselves into qualifying. Q1 is about to get underway, and let's see how we get on. So, Lewis Hamilton is going to be the first one out there this weekend, after securing his first victory since Saudi Arabia 2021. Last time out, did a very, very good job. And we're hoping to see that again in this Grand Prix. Obviously, Emilia-Romagna cancelled in real life, which was a shame. But here we go. Shall we hop on board with the 7-time world champion, Lewis Hamilton, and see how he gets on around a lap of Imola. Of course, we're hoping that it will be a very comfortable passage through qualifying sessions 1 and 2. And we've got, I think that's a Williams in front there. Does get out of the way nicely. George Russell slightly quicker than Lewis Hamilton in that first sector, but Lewis looking very racy out there at the moment, which is good to see. Right then, coming up through the middle sector, of course purple for the moment for Lewis. Let's see what George can manage through that middle sector. He's purple again. Although Lewis was quicker in practice, George Russell seemingly quicker in qualifying this year so far, although he is caught behind the Williams, so I think George might struggle to finish off the lap. Lewis Hamilton over the line with a 1:14.7, decent lap there, and George Russell now over the line. What can he manage? It's a 14.6, so he does go a 1/10 of a second quicker than his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Okay then, they set exactly the same time in Sector 3, interestingly enough. But yeah, over the other two sectors, Lewis Hamilton was a decent amount slower than his teammate, but let's see how the lads get on. Obviously, Stroll up there in 3rd, Sainz in 4th there. Alonso also want to keep an eye on. We'll see how Alonso does. He's had to go past Perez on his lap, but he's coming around now, and Alonso only 5th. Traffic getting in the way of his best lap. And Perez only 3rd, so yeah, it's a good start for us. Verstappen up to 3rd now, and well, it's a Mercedes 1-2 as it stands. Obviously, we're expecting at least Fernando Alonso to do better. Possibly Sergio Perez as well. So here they come. There you go. Verstappen goes quickest. Very good from him. Charles Leclerc over the line. Only 7th for him. Fernando Alonso over the line. He goes 2nd. So it's as you were, really. Verstappen 1st, Alonso 2nd, then we're 3 and 4. Perez heads up ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Now, can any of the bottom 5 get out? Doesn't look like it. Some improvements, but, well, there you go. Hulkenberg's the last one over the line. He does manage to get through. He knocks out Valtteri Bottas in 16th place. Very, very close in the end. But going out, Valtteri Bottas, Albon, Tsunoda, De Vries, and Logan Sargent. Okay, into Q2 then. Lewis Hamilton confident with his car. George Russell not so much with his.
Radio check.
We'll send out George Russell.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton on brand new soft tyres. See how they get on here. I think we'll be wanting to use mediums this time, but there you go, 1:14.5 from George Russell. That's slightly quicker than what he managed in Q1. Lewis Hamilton pretty much the same time. Perez only 4th as it stands. And what about Max Verstappen? He's on his fast lap. Only 7th for Max Verstappen. And Carlos Sainz, he's up to 6th. So he should be more than safe, you would imagine. And we're just going to save that set of tyres for Q3 that we would have used. So Russell currently quickest, and well, there you go. Let's have a look at who goes out in Q2 then. Ocon, Piastri, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, and Zhou Guanyu. But Lando Norris has done very well to get up into the top 10. Well played there. Right, into session 3. And as I say, George Russell looking the quicker of the two, so we're going to get Lewis Hamilton out there pretty quickly in session 3. We're going to have George Russell not far behind. Try and give him a little bit of a tow on the straights, but what we really do not want to come across is traffic. And that's the absolute main thing. So we're going to keep an eye out on the track cam at Lewis Hamilton. We have got Carlos Sainz. That's just come out the pit lane. He's starting his out lap. And Lewis Hamilton passing nicely. Coming up towards a slow section of the track. Hamilton a little bit slow through there because of Sainz. Russell seems to get through unscathed, and looking at the times in Sector 1, very, very close, but I think Sector 2 will be interesting. Hamilton flying through there now. Hamilton up the hill. What can he manage? He's going to set a 26 flat, 25.8 for George Russell, a couple of tenths quicker than his teammate. Now flying down the hill towards the final couple of corners as darkness descends on this wonderful Imola circuit. And it's going to be Lewis Hamilton that comes up to the line. What can he manage? It's a 14.8, not going to be good enough. George Russell goes quickest, his quickest time so far with a 1:14.4. Very good time from him. And it might be that we send Russell out first on his next lap. And Russell might already be on pole position. Verstappen can only get to within a tenth and a half. Alonso third, Perez fourth. Hamilton in fifth place as it stands. Stroll only sixth, Sainz seventh. Leclerc is somebody you think can improve. So I'm going to send George Russell out first. And then Lewis Hamilton. Try and get him a little bit of a tow behind his teammate. And they go out onto track. Should be absolutely fine. Got about 30 seconds to spare here. I'm going to hop on board with Lewis Hamilton. And we're expecting this to be his best time, but I don't think anybody's going to get near George Russell. Verstappen purple in the first sector, yellow in the middle sector. Don't expect him to be able to improve enough here, although Sainz is looking good. So is Charles Leclerc over the line. I think Sainz went only a small improvement. Stroll, sixth place. What about Max Verstappen? He's over the line. Can he go on to pole? Oh, he's so close, within half a tenth. Alonso over the line. He improved slightly, but not enough. So George Russell will be on pole tomorrow. Who is quicker, Hamilton or Russell? Russell quicker at the moment, half a tenth of a second. But personal bests at the moment, yellow in the middle sector for George Russell. Lewis Hamilton coming through the middle sector, still slower than George Russell, but is an improvement now. Final sector, if he can improve it enough, he could take pole position off George Russell. This is going to be huge. Russell comes round the final corner. Can he improve even more here? He comes up to the line to 14.4. It's not enough, and it's only a 14.6 from Lewis Hamilton, which is only third, 0.2 of a second behind his teammate. So that means it's George Russell who is on pole position for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Very good. There you go, underbody update. Doing the rounds, very, very good. And, well, it was the quickest time of the weekend. Lewis Hamilton will be disappointed with his qualifying pace so far this year, but in the races he's generally been better.
We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
During the qualifying session, Mercedes was simply phenomenal. They'll be starting this race with a considerable advantage. This weekend, Red Bull displayed real promise during qualifying, but will they fulfill that potential by the time they reach the checkered flag? A sunny day here with only a few clouds in the sky. If things stay this way, the weather shouldn't pose any challenges to the teams.
And seeing it all come together is sure to be a thrill. An exciting race ahead for us here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
Okay then, let's have a little look at possible race strategies. I think the one-stopper is going to be the quickest way to go. But whether, if we were a little bit more aggressive about it, would it improve? I don't think it would, so it's certainly not worth it for Lewis to be doing that. Yeah. Now, could we maybe switch these around and go hard then medium for Lewis, just to give him something to play off here? give him a chance in this race. George Russell, go the standard strategy. Okay, that all looks good to me. Lewis is going to get a couple of extra laps of fuel, and so is George Russell. Now, start of the race, we've tended to be very, very strong. Can George Russell come out on top? Here we go for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
Now we should have good weather for the race, and that will be welcome news for the teams. And here we have George Russell. They're in P1. Let's see if they can take advantage of that position. Looking down the grid, it's Hamilton. They've managed a third-place start for this race, but can they turn it into a win? And we're just moments away now. The crowd are on their feet in anticipation of this, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
Here we go then. Lights out, away we go. It's a good start for Max Verstappen off the line, and he's managed to get George Russell before turn one. But can George Russell take the lead back? That's the question. Doesn't look like it, as Lewis Hamilton slots into third place. Right. Well played, Max Verstappen. Excellent start off the grid for him.
Overtake.
Let's hop on board with George Russell. Is he going to be able to use overtake to full effect here and get back past Max Verstappen up the hill? He's got good momentum on him. But no, not going to manage it there. So again, a little look up the hill towards the middle sector. No look there, but again, look how much momentum he's got here. Oh, well, Max Verstappen cuts him off. Let's have a little look on the outboard shot. Is George Russell going to be able to get him down the main straight here? You feel he has to do it early on if he's to compete in this Grand Prix. Max Verstappen leads after the first lap, but George Russell is trying to have a look around the outside here. No luck so far for the man from Kings Lynn. Now is going to perhaps go down the inside. It's side-by-side action here, and George Russell does have a little opening here, and he does go down the inside, and he's back into the lead of the Grand Prix. Uses a bit of overtake to get away, and George Russell now back to where he started this race. Lewis Hamilton now chasing after his old nemesis, Max Verstappen. We're going to go in overtake mode for him now.
Okay.
And try and make the most of Max Verstappen losing a little bit of momentum on George here. And, well, Lewis on hard tyres. This would be a bit of a coup for him if he was able to get past. So here we go out of the final corner. A little bit of overtake, a little press of overtake out of the final corner. And now
Use DRS.
George Russell leading this Grand Prix. DRS enabled. Needs to get more than a second ahead, really, if he's to make the most of it. Can Lewis get down the inside of Max Verstappen here? No, doesn't look like it. Oh, this could be a chance around the outside, potentially. And now the outside again, but Max Verstappen defending valiantly here. Very good from Lewis Hamilton to get within range, and because Max Verstappen is defending
Watch out for DRS. Copy.
from Lewis. He's not actually within DRS of George Russell, although that's just changed. It's going to be pretty close as to whether Max Verstappen was within 1 second. I think he was. So now, top 4 making quite the inroads on 5th place. Anyway, I think let's push this on a little bit now. I think this is going to be our first stint. Pretty much sewn up now. Lewis will be battling with Fernando
like
Alonso.
Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
And obviously Max and George will be fighting for first. And Perez presumably will get in on the action. Maybe Stroll as well. And the 2 Ferraris quite a way back. So it's definitely an interesting dynamic here. And Lewis Hamilton's tyres, of course, should last longer than Russell's and Verstappen's and Fernando's. And Lewis should be able to take these tyres a long way forward. Now, George Russell, 14 laps. It's going to take him to come into the pits. And Lewis just dropped off the back of Fernando Alonso there. I wonder if he'd had to back out of it. Yeah, I'm going to now go balanced with Lewis Hamilton and try and look after the car. We know George and Max are going to be fighting it out at the front of this race. But yeah, Lewis and George really are keeping an eye on Lando Norris, I would imagine, and thinking about when we can come into the pits and come into free air. If we look at tyres, Hamilton, the only one of the top 7 on the hards. Charles Leclerc for Ferrari is on the hards as well. But Lewis Hamilton puts in fastest lap of the race. And that is very, very interesting, I think. And shows that his tyres are in a good place.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
I'm going to save Russell some fuel as well. I'm going to just see if Lewis can go light on his tyres and stay close to Fernando. Let's just see if that's possible. I think it probably is. And by doing that, you can extend that tyre life and then unleash it when Alonso comes into the pits. So we're going to do the same with George Russell here. When Max Verstappen comes in, George Russell can go uber aggressive. And put in personal best lap times. So we're just in a bit of a lull in this race until Max Verstappen comes in. You can see it's working out perfectly because George Russell just clinging onto the coattails of Max Verstappen, and we're quite prepared for that to happen.
So you got fastest.
And funnily enough, George Russell now fastest lap. But yeah, I think we want to overcut Max Verstappen here. Much like Lewis Hamilton wants to overcut all 3 of them, really, but right, they're in. So now Now Lewis can be a bit more aggressive.
Verstappen is boxing.
George Russell is going to absolutely go for it this lap. That's the plan anyway. It looks like Max Verstappen is going to come out behind the Ferrari.
So push hard. Yeah, Roger. And think about left lifting coast.
Need to see how much George Russell can get out of this lap. Going to prepare his pit stop. But we can, of course, always delay by a lap if we need to. And purple in that middle sector. 27.4. I'm tempted to give it one more lap for George Russell. Nope. Made that call too late, so George Russell's in the pits. Has he overcut Max Verstappen? That's the question. Lewis Hamilton puts in his fastest lap of the race now. And there goes the Ferrari. George Russell, when can he get on the power? Now he can. And there's Max Verstappen. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, Max Verstappen is through. That was so close. Oh, what a shame. But we can look after the car a little bit until maybe the last few laps. But Lewis Hamilton, he's got a little while before his pit stop. 6 more laps. And he can push on a little bit here. He's obviously going to have nicer tyres towards the end of the race. That's what we have to remember as well. So it's DRS. Hoping that Williams car gets out of the way. And he does. Quite nicely in the end. So yeah, Lewis needs to keep an eye on his times compared to Fernando Alonso. 23.7 at the moment. So yeah, Lewis is pulling out the gap on Fernando, which is good. So looking at the gap to George and Max. But yeah, I'm quite satisfied with George, just keeping him behind Max for now. Let's go light on the tyres, and then maybe with about 10 laps to go, just unleashing it. There we go, Lewis Hamilton, decent lap there. Right, time to zoom it forward a little bit. Keep an eye on lap times and gaps.
Mercedes moved up a place.
Well, Russell did make it past Verstappen in the end there.
Red Bull moved up.
This could be race critical now for George Russell.
Someone's run wide.
He's caught behind Charles Leclerc. And now needs to get past him pretty quickly.
be afraid to use the tyres. Copy.
Come on, George. Nah, he's stuck. So this might have just sealed Max Verstappen's victory here. Which is a real disappointment. He's finally through.
It's a race position gained for a Mercedes.
4 seconds he's lost there.
Oh, they've run wide.
Behind Max Verstappen. Let's see if he can reduce that gap a little bit. And I'm going to attack with Lewis Hamilton. And where's he going to come back out? That's the question. I would imagine probably in front of Sergio Perez. But, of course, with nice, shiny new medium tyres, which is going to make Lewis Hamilton a force to be reckoned with for the final few laps. So here he comes. And that is a green final sector, so he is going to come in this lap. It's going to give it his everything. Pop on the medium tyres. And here we go then.
And there's the fastest.
Fastest lap for George Russell, and you can see he's starting to close in on Max Verstappen. But he's using his tyres more. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. Where's he going to come out? I think just behind Fernando. Please be in front of Perez though. Yeah, I think he's good. Right. So now, standard on that. Let's see what Lewis can do out of the pits. He's 5 seconds behind Fernando Alonso. Charles Leclerc is going to be holding him up. And you can see Russell 3.1 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So trying to get this gap back down. And that Williams needs to move out of the way. It has done rather nicely in the end. Okay. Lewis Hamilton already starting to catch up to
Did somebody spin out
Fernando. It's actually within a second of these guys. So going to be aggressive.
Right, let's push. Okay.
Now, can Lewis get around Charles Leclerc here? It looks like he's going to. That was a brilliant move from Lewis Hamilton. He is through.
Nice work, Lewis.
So that should get him up to P3
It's a race position gained for
fairly
Mercedes.
quickly. And now George Russell within 2.5 seconds of Max Verstappen, but I think now needs to look after his tyres just a little bit. And here we go then. Lewis right behind Fernando. And here he goes. And who is that coming out of the pits there? That's one of the Alfa Romeos. I was panicking there that might have been a Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, but of course it couldn't be because we just passed Charles Leclerc on track. And quite a bit of traffic, isn't it? It's going to be tough to get through. George Russell starting to drop off the back of Max now. And here we go with Lewis. This should be enough to get through. And he is through. Now let's be aggressive on the tyres to get Lewis away from Fernando.
Mercedes moved up a place.
There you go, fastest lap of the race for Lewis Hamilton. Where is he going to end up in all of this? Oh, here we go. Max Verstappen starting to come across some traffic, but nothing that really caused him any issue. Yeah, I think George is going to have to be satisfied with second place today. I don't think we've got any answer for Max, and it's a real shame because it was all to do with Charles Leclerc. George just couldn't get through quick enough. But, I mean, Lewis starting to close in, but 8 seconds behind. 20 laps to go, to be fair, though. Just going to move them back onto balanced on the fuel. So 7.1 behind George Russell. Pulling away from Fernando Alonso. It looks like a comfortable 2-3 at the moment. Max Verstappen starting to get towards some backmarker traffic. Now, what would really spice it up would be a safety car, of course. But I don't think it will make a difference at this stage. Lewis doing a good job here. 3rd place. And now within 5 seconds of his teammate George Russell. Traffic coming up, so this could be a spicy end to this Grand Prix. So Lewis looking after his tyres nicely here. Max Verstappen dominating at the front though, 6.2 seconds ahead of George Russell. And I'm presuming with much nicer tyres, yep. So, Lewis Hamilton now within 3 of George Russell. I think this could come down to the last couple of laps here. Oh, and there we go. Is that going to be a safety car? Yes, it is. Well, well, well. I said a late safety car could spice things up, and that is certainly what's going to happen. And it was Alex Albon here. Oh, and he got smashed into the back. And I assume that was Bottas. Yeah, it was. And Albon is out of this Grand Prix. Now, Lewis Hamilton is going to be in the best position here.
It's a big shunt, big shunt.
Now,
Yeah, copy, all good.
George Russell. Could he get in and out before Fernando Alonso? I'm not sure. I don't think it's worth risking. We'd probably get back through, but too late now. Yeah. It was worth thinking about, but I think somebody like Perez is in a good place to maybe come in and put some soft tyres on. But yeah, we'll take the track position now. Lapped cars are going to be interesting here, because obviously that sort of broke the race last time, didn't it? So lapped cars may now overtake. There you go, there's the McLaren going. And the Alpine. So I think it's worked this time. As long as they can get past Max Verstappen, that is. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So that's all good, I think. Just double checking. Yeah, Max Verstappen there. Then George Russell, then Hamilton. And there is Fernando Alonso. And who I presume is Nico Hülkenberg. And then Zhou and Kevin Magnussen making their way through on soft tyres. So yeah, it's worked out well this time. And we'll get another lap behind the safety car and until they are racing again. So here we go then.
Safety car in this lap. Copy.
So Lewis Hamilton will be aggressive from the start with overtake on. George Russell will do the same. This will give us an opportunity that we wouldn't have had. Max Verstappen is going to lead us away from the lights here. And now, here we go. We have a 7-lap sprint race. And George Russell straight away trying to make his way past Max Verstappen. He's using overtake. He's going to try and look around the outside, but Lewis Hamilton is there as well. Hamilton goes down the inside of his teammate and he is through. Up into second place, but George Russell is still there. Can Lewis Hamilton hang on here? It looks like he might be able to. This is going to be very, very close. And Lewis Hamilton down the inside and he is through. And on these medium tyres, surely nothing can stop him. He's also going to have a look at Max Verstappen up the hill. And it looks like Lewis Hamilton has taken the lead here at Imola. And I said that this could get very, very spicy, this Grand Prix, because of Lewis Hamilton's tyres. And it certainly has. And with the safety car, surely Lewis Hamilton is now on track for back-to-back Grand Prix victories here. Now George Russell, let's see how he gets on. We'll keep an eye on Lewis Hamilton, but doesn't need to push that hard, I don't think. It's already half a second ahead of Max Verstappen here. Now then, George Russell with overtake needs to try and make the move past Max Verstappen. He's got tyres that aren't as good, but this could be a great opportunity for him. It could be his only opportunity. No. He now needs to go standard. We'll keep him on overtake, but I don't think he's going to manage to make it past. And Lewis Hamilton already more than a second ahead of Verstappen, and that was very important for him. As they go up the hill, George Russell, I thought he was going to go for it there. Didn't in the end, though.
So we are low on battery at the moment. And that's it.
No, not quite. So Lewis Hamilton has used his ERS. George Russell now. DRS is open. Or will be open next lap. I think we need to save the ERS for this time next lap. So can Lewis Hamilton stay ahead of Max? Max has got the best tyres of anybody, but they are the hard tyres. We've only got 4 laps remaining here. And that's what's pretty crazy here. Fernando Alonso is in the mix as well, but I don't think he's going to have enough to be able to fight here. George Russell was having a little look. Didn't manage to do it though. Right, this is his opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, copy.
We're going to give him everything. He's got DRS here.
Overtake as well. Yeah,
so here comes George Russell. ERS, DRS. And he's right behind Max Verstappen. He pulls to the inside, and this should be George into second place. And he has managed it. Very, very, very good from George Russell. And now he's got 2 more laps to hang on here. I'm going to try and harvest through the lap. And then defend on that main straight. That's the plan anyway. So let's zoom it forward to that point. I'm going to try and defend here from Max Verstappen. And it's the George Russell train here in P2. Lewis Hamilton looks like he is going to win this Grand Prix. Can George Russell stay ahead of Max Verstappen? He's succeeded on this lap, I think. Verstappen pulls to the outside, but George Russell remains there in second place. And now, harvest time.
Charge the pack.
Harvest as much as you can, George. Let's look after our energy. And we've got a lap and a half to defend here. And we're going to come out with another 1-2. And, well, Lewis Hamilton, very, very lucky, really, with how the safety car worked out. But had been at a very good pace, to be fair. Would have probably had second from George Russell anyway. The pace he was going at. And here we come down the hill. This is George Russell. And the very last lap of the race is coming up. We're going to give him full beans of everything. Here we go then.
Shot now.
George Russell pushing out of the final corner. Lewis Hamilton is leading the way. Max Verstappen now with DRS. Has a good chance to get back into second and takes it. But is George Russell finished yet? I don't think so. I don't think he's finished yet. Going to try and use some overtake up the hill. But Max Verstappen, well, that was very, very good, wasn't it? With the DRS, nothing George could do. But now, desperately trying to get back past. And they are side by side, but don't manage it just yet. Oh, and he goes round the outside. This is huge. Oh, wow. This is so close. Oh, and well, Max Verstappen has dropped down a bit. Russell back into second here. But Russell now out of VRS. Max Verstappen is going to have a little look into the final corner, I think. But George Russell is coming round, and it looks like Lewis Hamilton is going to come over the line. He's going to win here at Imola. And now George Russell comes over the line and he finishes second. That was awesome. What an end to the race that was.
Hats off to you there, mate.
Very, very good.
Let's see what happened there.
And
at the end of that final lap,
what a terrific
Hamilton has secured the win.
Victory for Lewis Hamilton and a 1-2 for the Mercedes team. That is completely awesome. We will settle for that. And another 44 points in the bag for the Mercedes team.
This is a result
43, I think it is, isn't it?
For Lewis Hamilton.
No, 44. And car number 44. Well, let's not rule him out of the championship picture.
A truly well-earned podium here, and a dream come true for everyone involved.
That was just absolutely fabulous, wasn't it? It was really, really brilliant. But there you go. Max Verstappen finishes third, Alonso fourth, Perez fifth, Stroll in sixth, Leclerc and Sainz seventh and eighth, with Norris in ninth and Gasly in P10. Into the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton 12 points now behind Max Verstappen, and George Russell down to third in the championship, despite 4 podiums to start the season. Very, very good. Alonso, Perez and Leclerc 4th, 5th and 6th. And we take the lead of the constructors, 11 points ahead of Red Bull now. That's pretty awesome. But wow, what a race that was, and what an end. Obviously manufactured by the late safety car, but those last couple of laps were really brilliant. And that move from George Russell up the hill into the chicane, that was ridiculous, wasn't it? Well played, George Russell, to get second place there. But that is where we're going to leave it for today. If you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager videos. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.